My name is Skeeter Porter, and I'm the chief at Charles County Dive Rescue, Company 13, part of the Charles County Volunteer Firemen's Association Emergency Services. And today we're going to talk a little bit about water safety and things that you can do to help protect yourself and your loved ones and friends and family and even strangers you may see should there be an event around water or ice or things like that. Well, I think first and foremost when we talk about water safety and think about things is to start with the prevention aspects of it, right? And there's multiple things that you can do, starting from a very young age, but even for adults, is to learn how to swim, right? If you can swim, right away you have the ability to self-rescue in a lot of circumstances and on a lot of events. Drowning is the third leading cause of accidental death in children in the United States. And it's unfortunate because it doesn't need to be that way. And there's a lot of great programs here in Charles County for both children and adults to learn to swim. So another is obviously being properly prepared if you go out on the water, right? So PFDs. PFDs are another one that are often overlooked. Even the best swimmers, if they're in a situation, can become tired, can become worn out, and can no longer keep themselves afloat. A PFD is what helps you in that circumstance to stay safe. Basically, a PFD stands for Personal Flotation Device. All right, and they're rated by the Coast Guard. This particular PFD has got foam padding built into it, and this is one of our rescuer PFDs that we use. A lot of you have, I'm sure, seen this style PFD. This is your basic commonplace PFD that you can get at Walmart and get anywhere. And it basically, you just put it over your neck and strap it down, and it'll help maintain your buoyancy. Type 1 PFDs, Type 3s, there's different types. The bottom line is if you're in trouble, you need something that floats. They have things out on the water for sportsmen and stuff that, you know, this is an actual Coast Guard rated flotation jacket. So it looks just like a jacket. You get the warmth of wearing a jacket, but it's actually Coast Guard rated. It's not even inflatable. It's actually got the flotation built into it. So if you fall in the water wearing that, you got built-in flotation. All of our people, and you see boaters now a lot, will wear these hybrid and combination inflatable PFDs. They're much more comfortable than wearing some of the jacket styles. And should you fall in the water, it'll either automatically inflate. Some of them are automatically inflatable, which this one is, with a backup that you can yank this cord and it'll inflate. We have, again, basic, this is like a universal one-size-fits-all PFD, kind of like for kayaking. And same thing with this is another Type 3, kind of a universal fit PFD. And a throwable, which is a good thing to have with you. And the last one I'll mention that's really important is the buddy system. And that's to have somebody with you anytime you go in the water, so that should something happen and you can't affect a self-rescue, you have someone there that can help hopefully get you out of the water or can go get help, whether you're in your backyard pool or whether you're in the river or going kayaking or going jet skiing or any of those kind of things. If you're out there by yourself, you're inviting trouble should something happen because nobody's going to know. Should you find yourself in a situation where you witness an event or you happen upon an event, and what can you do to then help? So the first is reach. And when we say reach, what we're saying is if you can reach out to that person that's in the water, whether it be again in the pool where they fell off a dock or something like that, anything you can do to reach them, do that. Now it's important to remember when you're reaching to not put yourself in a jeopardizing situation, right? So let's say you're on a dock or on the edge of a pool or something like that. Don't just bend over and reach down like this because your center of gravity is going to be high and you're going to put yourself in a compromising position. If they can get hold of your hand, what are they going to do? The first thing they're going to do is grab you and pull. So how can you fix that? How can you address that situation? Well, if you lay down on the deck and reach out, now all of a sudden you're anchored, right? You're anchored against the ground. So it'll be much harder for somebody to pull you in the water. Get anything you can to extend your reach. If you have some type of pole, a stick, in a pool, you might have the nets you use to clean leaves and things out of a pool, something that you can reach out for. The second step in that, if you're unable to reach them now, is to throw something. What should we throw? Well, the reality is there's not really a right or wrong when it comes to that, right? Anything that floats can suffice. It can be a cushion on a chair next to you or something like that. You can throw a PFD. that's going to float. You can throw a cushion. You can throw a cooler lid. You can throw a cooler, a rope. We have throw bags that we use. Anybody that has a dock or has waterfront property or things like that should have a throw bag. It should be hanging on their docks. And with the throw bag, our throw bags are 75 feet long. Basically, you hold the rope in your hand, and then the rest of the rope self-deploys. So as you throw this bag, that rope will pay out to them, and then they have this bag which floats. It's got to float in the bottom of it that they can grasp onto and help keep themselves up. And now you've got a line that you can use to retrieve them and pull them back. It's a truly life-saving device. Anybody that has a dock or waterfront or where someone could fall in, I mean, a throw bag is a great device to have. So we talked about reach, we talked about throw. The last one is go. And what that is go for help. Get on a cell phone, find the nearest home, whatever you need to get on the phone and call 911 to call for help. Go does not mean go in the water. Unfortunately, that's a lot of people want to do. I understand the stress of that, and I understand the desire that when you're witnessing an event and it's a stressful time that you think you can help and you want to go in the water. But I can't tell you how many times that a single drowning incident has turned into a double drowning incident because somebody went in the water. You don't realize when you go into the water and someone is panicking how quickly they can actually pull you under and you become a victim as well. It happens way more times than it should. So reach, throw, and go. Reach them if you can reach them. If you can't reach them, throw something buoyant to them, throw a line to them, do what you can to get them back, or go for help. But a lot of people travel and go to the ocean and go to the ocean city and the beaches and things like that, and that's really where you have to worry about rip currents. The way they operate is you have wave action. Anybody that's been to a beach knows that you have waves and they wash up on shore and then they come back out as the water recedes. Well, what causes a rip current is when you have contours in the bottom where you have a shallower area offshore, right? So as the wave and the water comes over that, they come over that shallower area and then they come up and break on the beach. And then you'll have a depression. You'll have depressions between these shallower areas. So what happens is the water comes up over that shallower area up onto the beach, but then when it comes back out, it hits that area, it hits that shallower area, and what it does when it wants to flow back is it wants to flow back through a deeper spot. So it will find the deepest spot between those shallows, and the water will all flow that direction to go out that. So it's like a funnel. It works like a funnel. And so if you happen to go into the water where that sort of funnel effect is, you're going to get caught in that rip current as that water drains back out. The reality is you're not going to win. Water has incredible force, okay? So if you find yourself being pulled out in a rip current, the best thing to do is just go with it, right? Because hopefully you've already applied what we discussed earlier with the buddy system, so you have somebody with you or up on shore that's going to be able to call for help, and you know that help can be on the way. But if you just relax and let the current move you where it wants to move you, it will move you backwards until you get past that shallower area, and you can swim parallel with the shore until you get to a point where you can turn and go back. If you try to swim straight back to shore, and then that's going to be the natural instinct, is I'm being pulled away from shore, and that shore is my closest spot right there. That's the closest spot. That's where I want to swim to. Now you're swimming against that rip current, and you won't win. The current is going to win every time. So just realize that. Let the current drift you back until you get out of that current, and then swim away from the current parallel to shore, and then you can arc back in. And hopefully while you're doing that, your buddy has called for help, and if you can't get back on your own, they'll know where to come find you to get you. Thank you for taking the time to watch and hopefully educate yourself about water safety. It's really the first steps in preventing something from happening, and try to take away the key points. Remember the top 3 things when it comes to prevention: learn how to swim, wear the proper PFD and have it with you, and exercise the buddy system. Don't forget about the reach, throw, and go. Reach somebody if you can reach them. Throw something if you can throw something to help them maintain buoyancy. Go for help, okay? And be careful around the ocean and the rip currents. It can happen. It doesn't happen a lot, but it definitely can happen. And I think if you remember all of those things, you're probably 90% on the way of not becoming a casualty yourself, and are better prepared to help someone you may find that didn't practice those things.